I hope you're back after a short break. We will be dealing with the second stanza of Mrs. Sarojini Naidu's poem, The Bangle Sellers. Summer meet for a maiden's rest, silver and blue as the mountain mist. Some are flushed like the birds that dream on the tranquil brow of a woodland stream. Some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn lips. Such a beautiful imagery, such a classic, such a tender imagery made by Mrs. Naidu. It just touches your heart. Isn't it very coy and very shy imagery and the very shy image of a maiden? Maidens are supposed not to be very loud, isn't it? Not the young feminist gender of today's lot. You have to understand from that perspective. So that time, maidens were thought to be a little coy, a little shy, a little blushing. So that kind of imagery what we get. The second stanza onward, the speaker starts talking about different kinds of bangles that they have, that the bangle sellers have, right? Some of these bangles are suited for a maiden. That is a young unmarried woman's wrist. And what is the color? They're silver and blue in color, and there is a simile, like the mountain's mist. So as the mountain mist is of course silver in color. Why? Because it's hazy. And she has put it silver. Of course, I think you have seen how the bangles are freckled with little of silver, right? So that is what mountain's mist, hazy, is equals to silver. And then it is blue, like the mountain. So altogether, it's a mountain and the mist. So we understand what are the colors? Silver and blue. Some of them are flushed, that is pink. Why? Because of the color of blushing, the coyness, the shyness, and the light red in color, like the flower buds. So this is the second color. It's a pink and light red, growing beside a woodland stream. So these are the flowers, you have to understand, growing beside a woodland stream. And others are green and glowing, so very fresh leaves, that kind of color. That not that dark green color, but that young sprouts, that color, the color of the young sprouts. So it's green and glowing like the transparent beauty of the newborn leaves. In Indian society, you have to understand, bangles, of course, as I've told you, have an important cultural and religious place. We see our mothers, we see our sisters, we see our daughters wearing bangles. So that's a very common thing associated with Indian culture. So different colored bangles, of course a young girl doesn't wear something that is very greyish in color. Why? Because it does not go according to the temperament of her growing up years. So different color bangles are worn by women in different ages of life. Blue, silver, green are generally worn by young maidens. Why? Because they are bright colors, isn't it? It is interesting to note that the poet here uses the words flushed like the birds that dream. Why flushed like the buds that dream? The word buds, what does it suggest? It suggests the chastity of an Indian maiden. Buds that dream. Why? Because it presents before us the image of the young girl dreaming of marriage. She desires, but she is not able to speak it out. It is as if the desire, the dream, a dreaming desire you can say. In the stanza, the poet presents the stage of youth in a woman's life. It's her puberty that has hit her, and she is just in her age of puberty trying to transmogrify into the adult phase, into the phase of marriage. So is it clear? The colors, what are the colors? Silver, blue, like the mountain's mist. Then we have the pink color, that like the flushed buds, and a little of red, infused with red you can say. And then the green of the young leaves. So these are the colors. And not only the colors, the poem doesn't just put some colors and just leave you. along with the colors, is trying to talk about, to deal with the temperament of a maiden. What is the temperament? She's coy, she's shy, she is just desiring someone, she's just trying to prepare herself for her adult life. That you have to remember. So this is what the poem is all about here. And just let me get into, in the third line of the poem, some are flushed like the birds that dream. Of course it is a simile, isn't it? And some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. Okay, there is no imagery out there. And some are meet for a maiden's rest, silver and blue as a mountain mist, simile. So we get silver and blue as a mountain mist, a simile, and then we have some are flushed like the birds that dream. So we have only similes here. Is it clear? So we have dealt with stanza number 2. And let us now get into the stanza number 3, which is the most important phase of an Indian woman's life. What is that? That is the day of her marriage. Some are like the fields of sunlit corn, meet for a bride on a bridal morn. Some like the flame of a marriage fire, or rich with the hue of her heart's desire. Tinkling, luminous, tender and clear. Tinkling, luminous, tender, clear. Such beautiful onomatopoeia. Like bridal laughter and bridal tear. Beautiful this is. In the third stanza, the bangle sellers say that some of their bangles are yellowish in color. Because it is compared to with the help of simile, it has been compared like the fields of sunlit corn. Dear students, it's the simile. So, the color of the bangles with fields of sunlit corn, the yellowish color, has been compared to an entire harvest, sun-kissed harvest you can say, the golden color. Why? Because bangles of this color are perfect for a bride on a bridal morn. The color yellow stands for the fertility of a young maiden. Of a maiden getting into her phase of marriage. Extremely sorry. It's not the maiden's life. She has just come into, she's now getting married. So the yellow color stands for her fertility. Some of the bangles that are bright red, signifying the color of her heart's desire. What is the color of desire? Red. So similarly, they represent the flame of a newly turned bride's marriage fire. And it also talks about the marriage fire stands for the orange color. So we have yellow and all the colors that is talked about in this phase are of one group. It's like yellow of the sunlit corn, then heart's desire red, then we have the fire, the color of the fire, that is orange. So all the colors group into one color, that is near about yellowish, orange and red. She is full of passion for her newly made relation. She's about to get married. The red bangles also stand for her heart's desire that I've already mentioned. The bangles are tinkling. That sound that is created, tinkling. It just brushes against each other and it makes a sound, isn't it? It's tinkling. It's luminous. It's clear. It's transparent. It's tender. It's fragile. Why? Because it will be broken. It's just like a woman. She's tender. She's luminous. She's bright. She's fresh. She's tinkling. She's always chattering. She's always so bubbly. That kind of image. They express both her joy of starting a new life with her husband and the sorrow of leaving her parents behind. Now this line, like a bridal laughter and bridal tear. So what is it? Two opposite ideas brought against each other in a single line. It is known as antithesis. What is antithesis? When opposite ideas are put forth in a single line. So bridal laughter and bridal tear. Why is the laughter and tear just the two different sides of the same coin? Because she is happy. She is going to start a new life. Yet she is sad. She is pondering that she has to go away from her parents' house. So there is a kind of dilemma. There is a kind of to be or not to be. So that is what her mood is all about. So what we find striking is the words bridal laughter and bridal tears. These words convey the whole of a woman's transition in life, from a maiden to a wife, and all the emotions attached with it in a single line. She is happy because she is going to start a new life. She is so sad. This stanza that marks a transition of life from a maiden to a wife. I hope this much is clear, and I hope that you have no problem to understand till stanza number 3. We have left only the 4th stanza, and let us deal with some short questions from these 2 stanzas. These first 3 stanzas. So the first stanza, who is the speaker? One of the bangle seller speaks for the entire class. Okay? Don't confuse it with bangle sellers. Now, who are going to buy these delicate bangles? Of course, the woman and also some men for happy daughters and happy wives. What are the colors of the bangles? Rainbow tinted. That's multicolored. And what do they stand for? They stand for radiant life. So a short synopsis of what we have done. Now let's get into the second stanza. Second stanza stands for the life of a maiden. What are the colors? Silver blue for the mountain's mist. Then the pinkish color that like the birds, and that is the birds that is there just on the brink of woodland stream. Some are like the greenish color of the young leaves. And only these questions are important. You don't have to deal with anything else. Whatever I'm dealing with, nothing can come out of that. Stanza number 3. What are the bangles compared to? Fields of sunlit corn. That is yellow color, stands for fertility. And then some are like flame of marriage fire. That is the orange color. And then some red, signifying our heart's desire. Desire has a color red. And how are the bangles like? They're tinkling. They make the sound. They're luminous. They're tender. They're clear. Alliteration. And also the sound that's created is onomatopoeia. What is onomatopoeia? The sound imagery. And then we have bridal laughter and bridal tear. Comment on the line bridal laughter and bridal tear. Bridal laughter stands for the happiness that a woman feels when she is getting married because she is going to step into a new life. And tear. Why? Because she is sad. She has to leave her parents' abode, her parents' house. And there's a striking imagery put there, bridal laughter and bridal tear. So this is what we have done till now. I hope it's clear. So we will be getting into the stanza 4, and then we will get into a complete analysis of the entire poem. So stay tuned for the next part that is coming up. Thank you so much.